Are you recording right now?
Yeah.
Welcome back, boys and girls, to the Flow State Gaming Podcast, episode number 11. Number one up-and-coming Valorant podcast in the world, on the internet. I am Coulter Fair, a.k.a. Astro. Along with me is my good friend, Rogan Prescott.
Hey, everyone. How's it going? Hope you guys had a great week. New patch. That's what we're going to be covering today. Lot of things going on right now. Got a new agent. We got agent buffs, agent nerfs, new whole battle pass, and episode 2, act 1. It's going to be good.
Episode 2, man. This is like the biggest news that we've had in a long time. It was kind of a calm before the storm, and then there's a lot going on right now. This is going to be probably a longer podcast than usual.
Well, they are starting to do monthly updates, so I think we are going to be seeing those fatty updates from now on.
Do you like that more or less?
I'm not sure, man.
Weekly?
It's like it's always fun getting something every single week, you know? And I think
that's how I feel.
Yeah, and then when they're due monthly, if there's like a bug that's not completely game breaking, they're just going to come out with a fix and then put it in the next update. So like we aren't going to see it for another, like 3 weeks. So I don't know. It's also kind of cool, like getting those big changes, because then it's like a whole nother game, and like that's kind of how I feel like right now, dude.
Yeah,
it just like it's everything. A whole nother game. I don't know why it looks so different right now.
Yeah, guys. If hopefully everyone has seen that cinematic, the little episode 2 trailer they put out, that was pretty savage. Kind of releasing the new agent that way. Of course, we already all knew about the agent because of the Russian leaks. Any Donald Trumps in the chat? The Russian intelligence obviously leaked that really early. That kind of sucked, dude.
You didn't really want it to be leaked?
Well, I don't know. We just got it so much earlier than they wanted to.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard a lot of things though, is that they sometimes just do that on purpose. They literally sometimes they give information to people to build up hype.
They gave it to the Russians. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
I mean, I don't know if they're doing that, but
Rogan, do you have a hot drink this evening?
I do. It's kind of the same, dude. It's a little hard to drink. Our espresso machine it's pouring some burnt shots, dude. Like straight, just it tastes like it's honestly like burnt coals that I'm like drinking right now.
Well,
but it's a quad shotter with a little bit of cream because I ran out. So it's just it's like a nice bitter, just
dude. But
what?
That's like the worst when you have just a little bit of cream. Like I would rather have none than like 4 drops.
It really throws it off because then you get like
way off.
Just a dirty water taste with like with the somewhat like creamy, watery like mixture that just tastes gross.
So that's gonna be blowing out of your system. That's gonna be fairly quickly, I imagine.
Yeah,
that sounds gnarly, dude. Yeah. Well, maybe you need a 2-time employee of the year Starbucks former employee to come over there and fix your espresso machine.
I'm usually the one making you drinks, dude. I don't know what's going on, dude. That's funny. Coulter, do you have a hot drink, man? I'm just curious, dude.
Dude, I obviously have a hot drink tonight, and I think the people know what it is. It is a very large 24-ounce. Actually, dude, this, I don't know. Since we're live, maybe, can you see this in the, I don't have your screen.
Yeah, I can see it.
Whatever this bad boy is, this Bodum, okay, is a freshly squeezed, piping hot Mike's Place rolls. And it's, of course, decaf. I did do something a little different. Oh no, I think I just I went off of live on the Instagram. I'm not sure why. Oh, it just paused. What I was saying is I did in fact add a little extra this evening, and I added some cracked Himalayan salt into the grounds before I put the water in. Right? I'm trying to just extract every little flavor, every little grain of flavor that I can from this decaf medium roast. If anyone has any suggestions also to a nice decaf, let me know.
Yeah.
Right. I'm always in the market for a new hot drink.
I mean, to the 3 listeners we have, let us know.
Well, I'm running 2 on the Instagram live. Guys, this is our first time going live here, right? So this is a big moment for us.
We're making moves.
We need to get more bodies in here. I don't care if it's your grandmother, get her in the Twitch, dude. And so whatever, yeah, this is cool though. Do you have any announcements this evening?
Not many.
Or what? How's your week been, dude?
It's been good. Haven't really been playing competitive because there hasn't been a point. It's all reset. Everybody is unranked right now. Is it still 3 placement matches?
It's 5.
5 placement matches, and the highest rank that you can rank into is Platinum 3, which is going to be interesting. We'll get into that later, but not too many announcements, man. Dude, it was a great week. I did get a VR headset. I got an Oculus Quest 2. I know nobody cares, but it is actually a pretty cool experience. So if you guys ever get the chance to try it, I recommend it. I've been looking at my hands and I almost feel like I'm in a game still. I think it
does kind of mess with your head a little bit.
It definitely messed with me. Any announcements for you, man?
Not much, dude. I didn't play very much this week. But
do you want to tell the people?
Not really.
Okay.
I'll do it though. I'll do it. Before episode 2 launched, we were getting in some games with the boys. Right? Everyone was you and Eric were Diamond 1. I was Platinum 1. And once again, we could join forces and play together in ranked. So this is what we did, right? We're all excited. I think me especially. I think I had the most excitement going on. And it was terrible. I hated every second. I literally hated every moment, right? Because I went 6-21. 6-21. And so, of course, I got deranked to Gold 3 before episode 2 launched, which is unfortunate. But I did get act rank of Plat 1, so at least there's that, right? Better than last act. So, I have that New Year's resolution feeling, right? It's a new episode. It's a clean slate. And we can all just start our voyage together, That's what I'm excited about. Rogan, if you can, dude, why don't you just go live on the Instagram? My home screen keeps locking. I don't know why. But why don't you go live on Instagram?
Yeah.
Because
another reason why I'm committed more to the podcast.
Well, it's like I can't seem to handle it, right?
Well, your phone sucks.
Well, I literally have like 4% battery, and I was not at all prepared to go live. I just wanted to give the people, something. But hopefully they're all coming to the Twitch to see us both, right?
That's flow_state_gaming.
Yep. You can just see us there. So, but yeah, get that going. While you're doing that, the lobby screen, everybody has changed. Like I was previously saying, the cinematic, the little trailer for episode 2 was super cool. I think that's kind of cool to add into a game. Just kind of gets the juices flowing. A brand new battle pass, like Rogan was saying. I'm kind of curious actually to get your thoughts on the battle pass, Rogan.
Yeah.
Do you have what's your hot take on this act?
I personally think it has gotten a little bit better. There's some better skins, I would say. Do you
like those green ones?
The green ones, are you talking about like the Phantom?
Yeah.
They have multiple colors. They have 4 different colors.
Yeah, but they don't all have colors, do they?
Yeah. I think so. I'm not positive.
Nice. Well, because that diarrhea green makes me want to vomit. So as long as we can change that, then I'd be happier.
There's definitely some bad skins out there, but I think it's worth the money. Because, I mean, you're spending $20 on one skin on an Odin that you never use. And with the battle pass, it's $10 and you get like 20 of them. So, I mean, I would just,
Well, and it's like you get all the radiant points too, which is probably the biggest thing. You get like $50 worth of radiant points every time you buy the battle pass. So it's like, or given that you complete it, obviously, but I think it's pretty good value for your dollar. I just wanted your opinion. I didn't buy the last battle pass actually. I didn't really like the skins in it, but I mean, to each their own.
Wow.
I was on the verge, but never.
Yeah, you were telling me that you're going to.
Well, because I'm just snapping up dragon skins all over the place, right? I'm just dumping cash into skins, and it's like, I just didn't like them, dude. Like the ruin skins didn't do anything for me. I like those, the ones that you were talking about, like the Stinger, whatever those were called. Those look pretty good.
The Stinger? Oh,
in
the
last battle pass. But anyways, I don't know. I'll probably get this battle pass, I assume. We'll just have to see how it goes.
So before we move on to patch 2.0, this is kind of off the notes, but solely Brent in the chat asked when's the Q&A. So we have a question we have a question to address that we got on Instagram.
Do you want to address that now?
Yeah, we can address that now.
Well, I'll rip open the Instagram here.
Yeah, and then just go off.
So we did have a question, right? Question number 1, which was great, right? We have Anthony. Looks like he is a white male and a self-proclaimed 28-year-old gold plat peasant. Right, so he sucks at the game, just like I do, and he had a really good question here, and we love to hear it. So the question is, I'm going to read it word for word. If you are getting stomped on defense and the attackers are just constantly running on site, and it's just not working out, is it smarter to start getting aggressive in the round and start to challenge things, or is it better to just play solid retakes? So great question. What is we both gave an answer to this gentleman on Instagram, but I think that there's probably some value here for people like solely Brent, right? People that are hanging out in bronze. There's levels to our kingdom, right? I kind of see me and Rogan, we're in the royal tower looking down, and people like this gentleman here, Anthony, he's like a villager, right? He's a sheep herder. Maybe he's a blacksmith. Maybe he's just picking grain. And then there's people like Eric and solely Brent, right? And they're rats. They're literally the scum of the earth, and they're just clamoring for advice. So we want to deliver. When I look down and see you peasants, I want to try and help you out. So what was our answer here? Let's hear your answer first.
Yeah.
And then I'll give my opinion.
So when your cheeks are getting clapped by a 5-man push every single round, and your teammates are getting absolutely clapped, and you're on site, you're trying to do the best defending, but I mean your cheeks are still getting clapped. And you might try some new things out, but it's not working. So it's hard because it just depends on what agent you're playing, I would say. But I think the general answer that I came up with is a lot of people just play angles where you can't go anywhere. Like, so for example, we'll go on bind in hookah. You're defending B, and you're in hookah with, let's just say, like a specter. And if you're just hearing them and you're gonna peek that corner like towards mid, they're all right there, and you might start shooting some shots. You don't get a kill, but you hurt somebody. You try to back off. Jet can either dash up or anything like can happen. They can reach you while you're running away, and you'll just get picked off. And you're gonna die right away without doing anything. So playing an angle where you have an escape is very important. So like for CT angles, like on elbow on bind, like you're able to see hookah window from there. And if they do push out and you don't get a kill, you can always back off on that angle. And no one's gonna push you like mad, and you're able to get an escape. So just if you're getting clapped, play a different angle, play a safer route instead of just playing up in front, because you don't have to contest site. You can play for retake. You don't want to give them site, but you also want to do some sort of defense just to keep them away.
Yeah, man. Good answer. This is do you have anything else to add?
I mean, dude, it just depends so much. Like if you're playing Sage, you can just wall up right away. Or if you're playing a duelist like Phoenix, you can also just flash an angle, peek, and then back off. But I think just like to be on the safe side, I would just play a CT site. But
yeah.
You had a different approach on that answer, I know.
Well, so it was a really good question. And it's funny that you mentioned hookah on bind, because that's like when he was asking about this, that's right where my thoughts went. Because I've been in this situation on defense where they are just running it to B, and it's like it's hard to defend. And it's I don't know, Valorant, with how many abilities are in Valorant, it's really a good strategy for the attacking team to do this, because they can overwhelm the defenders like pretty easily, because the attackers are always going to generally outnumber the defenders on that site. Like if they're just doing a 5-man push, it's probably going to be 5 versus 2 or 5 versus 3 at the most, right? If you're stacking that site. So this allows a lot of, opportunity for the 5-man push to work. He did ask, if the retakes just aren't working, because I generally feel like retaking the site is probably your better option rather than going aggressive in this situation. But kind of part of his question is if your retakes are just kind of going the same round after round, not working, what can you do to switch it up? And going aggressive is an option. It's just not an option that I would recommend all the time. But if retaking is not working, get aggressive. And like you said, your agent really makes a difference here. But like I play Jet. I've been playing Jet a lot. So a lot of times if this was happening in that game, actually, this was happening to me, I would go into hookah and I would be waiting for the barriers to drop. And if I had an operator or even a rifle, I would take a peek out of hookah immediately. And I would try and get a pick there. Now, I wouldn't always, but there were times that I did. And then you can dash back into hookah. And at this point, you have to be calling out that it's a 5-man push. So you're calling out to your team literally at that moment, hey guys, they're all there. Like, come be now. So by taking the aggressive angle, you can get early enough information to get your team to the site before they totally control it. Because they're going to often, if they have an Omen playing, which, dude, he has a 98.2% pick rate, I think, right now, which is insane. But that's off topic. It's just he's mostly going to smoke elbow and he's going to smoke CT. And then if they have a raise, they're going to throw that grenade behind that center tube, and they can control a lot of the site really quickly if there's only one or two of you there. So getting early call outs to your team is huge here. And I think that's the bonus of going on an aggressive angle is you're getting that information earlier rather than all of a sudden they're just out of hookah and you're just retreating, calling to your team. Well, by the time they're even halfway around, the bomb's already planted. So, really good question. And I think Rogan is right. Play your agent. Like, if they are just round after round, like 7 rounds in a row, just rushing a single site, just put 5 guys there. And then if they happen to go A that round, well, then you're playing retake anyway, which is what you've been doing all game. So, I mean, that's my advice is like, if your retakes aren't working, go aggressive. But if you can, I would try and play the retake and play slower and smarter. But that's just my opinion.
Yeah, very well said.
Really good question. Really good question.
For sure.
So hopefully we helped him out a little bit. It's just hard. It's a hard thing to run into. I mean,
yeah.
Especially if they're just better at aiming too. So,
well, I mean, if the team's smacking you every round and
like
they have like a 38-2, then you're not going anywhere.
And it's just like, especially out of hookah, man, like it's hard. I don't know.
Yeah.
If one of your teammates can fake going through teleport, especially on bind, like if Rogan is playing Omen on A, there's times that he'll fake a telly just so it's in their minds that there might be someone behind them, right? Any kind of head games you can play is great. So that's just my thoughts there.
Yeah, very true.
Dude, do you want to start to dig into the meat of this episode, dude? There's a lot.
Dig into the dirt.
There's a lot to cover.
There's a lot, man.
So we have a new agent, ladies and gentlemen. Right? We've known it for a long time, but we're covering it a little later. This is Yoru, and he is a duelist. So he looks pretty cool, and Rogan is gonna go ahead and take the first thoughts here. Well, what are your first thoughts looking at this agent?
I think it's exciting, man. He's a duelist. He has flashes, which isn't so exciting because, as we all know, getting blinded by 3 breach flashes is never fun. He's kind of like a designated lurker, so he's going to be used to pretty much just throw off the enemy. I would say it's almost similar to Omen in a way, Omen and Phoenix, where he can play very aggressive, but he can also get behind the enemy team and have a flank for them. I think it's going to be really cool, man. He's a super unique agent. In my personal opinion, like I've said to Sky and I mean, every new agent, I always think they're going to be overpowered. And this guy seems so overpowered to me. But we'll just... he just has so many abilities. So, like, he has flashes. He has a teleporter that goes in front of him that he can just teleport to, like, whenever. The timer's insanely long. And then he has an ability that deceives people, as in, like, making fake footprints. So you can throw that down, be long somewhere, and everyone on site, they're going to think someone's running up, but then there's just going to be footsteps. So, I mean, I think it's just going to be a whole different play style, because, like, when you hear footsteps, you can't always rely on that. And, like, we've always been able to rely on audio cues, like, no matter what, right? Like, you hear somebody, you know there's going to be someone there, but now you're going to have to peek it to make sure that it's actually someone, you know? So dude, I think
that's so tough.
Like, to me, it's like, yeah, he might be like, I think he might be overpowered a lot, and he might be, but he might be pretty easy to play against. You know, he might be easy to read or something. So we'll just have to see. I'm excited.
Yeah, dude. I'm just pouring myself another.
Oh, wow.
Another hot one. Yeah, it says here that he's a Japanese native. So, not sure how many Japanese listeners we have, but congratulations. You've made it into the Valorant agent roster here.
Wow. Well said.
Japanese native Yoru. I hear people calling him Euro, which is interesting. But Yoru, it's kind of hard to say. He rips holes straight through reality to infiltrate enemy lines unseen, using deception and aggression in equal measure. He gets the drop on each target before they know where to look. So, like Rogan mentioned, he has his first ability is the Q, and this is his flash. So, kind of similar to Phoenix Flash. Like, if you haven't seen this agent at all, this is going to be most comparable to Phoenix. It looks like he equips the flash. I'm looking at the video right now, and he can throw it an X amount of distance. It does have a range, but it is very long. You can throw this thing very, very far away, and it only detonates the flash after it's bounced off of a wall or a object. So if you throw this thing at your feet, it's going to bounce off the ground and then it'll flash afterwards. And it looks like, that's maybe 0.2, 0.3, 0.4 of a second. So it's blue. So you can add that into the variety pack when you get flashed by a red Phoenix, an orange breach, a green sky, now a blue Yoru. Like Rogan, I don't know if disappointed is the word I would use. It's just like it just flashing kind of feels like an ability that they just stick on an agent, Like it's good for any agent. It can be used anywhere. It makes the agent super versatile. It makes the agent good at 1v1s or clutching up. I just think they could have done something a little more unique. But with that said, his other abilities are really unique, and I'm looking forward to trying it out and playing it. So his E ability is called Gate Crash. That's kind of an interesting name. But this is the teleport. Oh, and I should mention, he has 2 of the flashes that he can buy. And this teleport he just has 1 of those. So thank goodness for that. So you equipped it and you click fire and it'll send this moving orb along the ground, going forward fairly quickly. And if you hold Alt and fire, it'll just put that orb in place. It won't move forward. It'll just stay where it's at. And so at any time, you can activate the teleport by clicking the ability again, clicking E again, and you're going to teleport to that location. Now, Rogan, we talked about it a little bit, maybe personally, maybe on the pod. I can't remember. This orb can be destroyed. I don't know if you knew that or not.
Oh, I did not know that. That's huge.
Yeah, which it does make it a lot better.
That's really big.
Because and I think I mentioned this when we were talking, you kind of have to, because imagine let's just use bind on B again. Imagine a Yoru is attacking you and he sends that teleport through hookah onto site.
Yeah.
And it goes into back site. I mean, if they couldn't destroy it, it's you would be in hookah shooting them, but they would always have to be concerned about their back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So at least this way, they can take it out. I mean, it is still something that they have to, move their crosshair for, etc. But I'm glad that it's not just a blatant threat that you can't do anything about. So, and then I think the audio cue is actually fairly large. When you teleport to it.
Yeah. People know where it's coming from.
People know where it's coming from, which I was glad to see.
And that's what I was worried about, is because I was worried that it's almost similar to Omen, where it's just a teleport in front of you,
Right.
But I think it's going to be used in different ways. After knowing that it's going to be destroyed, it's going to be, yeah. I think
I
I've
know,
seen it
yeah.
in Icebox. One guy, he just put it in his spawn since Icebox is such a big map, and then he just pushed a site and then just teleported back, and he just he got like 2 guys on the flank. Like they didn't even know he was there because they didn't hear it because it was so far away. But I mean, it might be only in like those one areas that you can do that at, like where they can't see the teleporter. And who, like, people could literally just like watch the teleporter if they see it and wait for him to teleport back and then just one tap him. So
Yeah, no, very, very true. And like you said, like that example on Icebox, I think that's probably going to be the main. I know people are going to get creative with this ability, and the outplay potential is absolutely disgusting. But I think that might be the way that it's generally used. Like, think of Haven, dude. Like, so your Haven, you can throw that teleport like down tunnels,
yeah,
and then have the rest of your team just hard push on C. And then if you're there as well, just hard pushing C with them, and you have the bomb, and like you start to hear them rotating, whatever, you notice that there's 3 4 of them there in the area, and like you teleport back to tunnels, dude. I
there
mean,
is
that's
a
just gonna
timer on
mess
it.
with people. Is there? Do you know what that
Yeah,
timer is?
it's a long timer. Like you might be able to make it 2C by doing that, but I'm not positive.
But it's
It's
not
pretty
just
long. It's
game
pretty long.
long.
No, it's not
Okay.
game long. There's a timer. I don't know like the exact amount of time.
Okay. That kind of
It's
makes me feel better though.
yeah, it is longer than I thought it would be though.
Okay.
But
Um, so yeah, I mean, and also he comes out of the teleport animation fairly quickly. Like I didn't know if this would be like a Phoenix ultimate situation, like where there's like a delay, but I mean, dude, he's pretty much gun ready. Looking at the video, would you say it's quicker than Omen? Because Omen has like a
yeah,
weird, like
yeah.
it's like a long
Oh no,
animation that he's
it's
teleporting.
way longer. Yeah.
It's significantly shorter, it seems like, on Yoru.
Omen has
Um,
he's like in very vulnerable for a little bit of time.
Whereas like it looks to me like when Yoru like activates that teleport, he's pretty much ready
Yeah.
to shoot you.
Yeah.
Um so anyways, this is gonna be a fat ability, and it's obviously what separates him from other agents. You're just not gonna be able to really know what's clear and what's not. Also, I'm interested to know if this will activate cipher tripwires, because I don't know if Cypher's like guarding a site and then he rotates or whatever, kind of banking on those tripwires. Maybe Cypher can't really rely on his tripwires as much if this guy can just rip this teleport to the back of the site and, entry
Yeah.
that way.
I would
And
say they would hit it just because you can destroy it as well. It's not like,
yeah,
but it
that's
is.
what
Yeah,
I kind of think the same.
we'll
I
have
was
to
just,
see.
I'm not positive on that. So, um, what else was I thinking? Oh, dude, imagine like all the set plays, dude, when like you get like the smokes down and then you're just sending this thing through smokes.
That's what I was thinking.
Like, dude, like
And then you
even
just hold
like
the
a
judge.
jet, like even a jet, if she just like puts them, like think of Ascent on A. Imagine just like putting like smokes in a line like all the way down into hell,
Yeah.
and then this little teleporter just goes straight into hell,
Yeah.
and like no one knows that you're there. So I'm sure there's going to be some nasty plays that we see out of this. Um, and so this takes us to his C ability. It's called Fake Out. This is the footsteps that Rogan mentioned. So you equipped it again, and you place it on the ground. And I think that you can. Oh yeah, so you can press Alt Fire, and you can hold that ability in place, just like the teleporter, and then activate it at any time, and it'll start walking forward. So you can place it down, move away, and then activate it at a later time, which makes this ability way stronger than if you could just cast it like straight all the time. So that'll be interesting. I feel like I kind of really like this ability because I think like in low elo, it won't have that big of an effect. You know what I mean? It's just like I feel like the people that are high digit IQs, unlike myself, are going to be able to use this ability like way better than I could.
Yeah.
And really mess with people. Again, like you said, it makes me a little uneasy that we can't really trust. You can't trust your ears anymore for the first time, which I mean, it's just another thing to think about,
Yeah.
And like you said, you're gonna have to check it. Like you can't just let it be.
Mm-hmm. He has two of them too. So like if there's 3 people, he can just send like 2 down, two footsteps, 2 pairs of footsteps, send them down some site, and then it's just gonna throw people off a bunch. But also like I think it's gonna require like a mentality of like, how am I gonna outplay this person, right? And also like in Immortal and Irradiant, those guys are so smart, man. Like their thinking and like their game sense is just insane. So like it might be pretty hard to like be able to outplay them and get the upper hand, because I don't know, it's going to be interesting.
I think Yoru is just really going to change the landscape of like the meta right now. I think we all know that. His abilities, like each ability is just super good. And I
each
think
one is huge.
It's important to note here as well that both the footsteps and the teleport can go through teleporters, like on bind. So that's going to be, I feel like he's going to get played on bind, if not for that reason alone. So this takes us to his ultimate. It looks pretty disgusting, and it's called Dimensional Rift. So he puts on a mask, an N95 coronavirus confirmed mask, and it like puts him into like a low vision situation, reminding me of like Reyna's view, or I don't know what I'm talking about. It looks like you're blinded almost, but you can still see a lot. And when he puts on this mask, it says a mask that can see between dimensions. So when you use it, you drift into Yoru's dimension, unable to be affected or seen by enemies from the outside. So he puts this coronavirus mask on and no one can see him. Dude, I know that you were thinking that you could see him from like a distance. Is that confirmed?
I saw a video of him being able to see people being able to see him.
Well,
but it's not confirmed yet. We don't know.
And that's interesting.
For people who are confused, it's literally the exact same thing as Reyna's ultimate. When she does a dismiss, she's invulnerable, or he's invulnerable and he's invisible, but it's for a much longer period of time.
Very long period of time, and he moves at insane speeds.
In the chat, it's like a 3-meter distance. Being able to see.
Dude, let's go, dude.
Thank you for that. We really appreciate it. We haven't played him at all,
right?
Oh my
we
gosh.
Don't play this game.
Yes,
we just talk about it like we know what's going on. We have no clue what we're talking about.
Yeah, we actually play Fortnite. We're hardcore Fortnite players.
Holy cow, dude. Never say that again. You're a Fortnite player.
I'm kidding. I was. Those were the bad days.
So this is interesting.
He can't shoot, by the way. He can't shoot in his ultimate.
He's not clapping your cheeks.
Just
while
invisible. It can't be shot. Just like acing every round. Stupid, the Valorant devs have messed up.
Dude, this is a very, very, very strong ultimate. There's no debate, dude.
Yeah.
This video I'm watching, I mean, he's running for a very long distance, and then he just pops out behind this person and just lines up his bulldog for a nice headshot. So expect a Yoru to be behind you when he has his ultimate, obviously. This is going to be huge for just gaining info, if for nothing else. Maybe not as a fragging ability, but if he can literally just be walking around with decent vision and no one can see him, he's going to get tons of info.
Yeah.
So this is going to be insane for both entry and just information gathering. you know, um, which is pretty strong. What are your thoughts on this ultimate, dude?
Um, it's fun, man. I think it is overpowered still. We have another
Like,
message though. In his
talk to
view,
me.
there's a line that shows you how close you can go before being spotted.
Well, that's disgusting. That
I know.
shouldn't be there.
Well, I
Right?
mean,
He doesn't need help here. he he doesn't need I think I see that in the video. Too bad Riot put out a 240p video that I can watch, right? Where I can individually pick out each pixel, but I can kind of make that out in this video as like a radius in front of you that you can see.
well, the
So
reason why we
that's
don't
very
know
interesting.
is that we just got back from work and we both just hop on and do the podcast as fast as possible.
Of course, right?
Yeah. We just don't have time.
But I mean, I have seen videos on this and whatnot. I mean, we're not entirely uneducated. So, anyways, powerful ult, dude. Very strong. It's like
Yep.
it's like a combination between Reyna and like Omen.
Yeah, the character.
That's what it feels like. Yeah, that's what it feels like.
Yep.
I actually don't know. Maybe ask whoever's making comments. Have they played the agent? I wonder. I don't know what kind of an audio cue the enemy is going to get when he comes out of this.
Yeah.
Because that's a big deal. Like if people
It
can
is.
hear you come out of it, then it's a lot less scary. But if this guy is just like silently just coming out of this alternate dimension, then there might be a little issue with me.
Yeah. We'll just have to figure that out.
So that's Yoru. He's looking very clean, very spicy. Thai food style spicy. Do you have anything else to add here, brother?
Nope. I think like we're gonna do another episode on him, on actually how he's played. We don't really know like how he is gonna work. We don't know if he's gonna be overpowered or if he's just gonna suck.
I mean, I don't think he's gonna be overpowered. It's just gonna change the way the game is played. I think that's pretty much all.
Yeah. Yep, for sure.
So
you just have to be
all right,
more
so
aware.
That is Yoru. And we are gonna move into some changes that were made to existing agents. And the first agent that we're going to be taking a look at here is Brimstone, the dad of Valorant. He's kind of a bigger boy, nice beard, but turning gray. He needed some help, right? He had a very low pick rate. Omen just took over his position as the controller. And that's what we've been seeing. Pretty much just Omen. So they're trying to bring Brimstone back into the game. So Rogan, what are we looking at here? And give me your thoughts.
Okay, so yeah, he was an old man. And he definitely did need some help. So Stim Beacon, that was never used, man. It was terrible. It was trash. And now they've added it, so there's no equip 10 at all. So pretty much before he had to pull out the Stim Beacon, it pulls out, and then he had to throw it on the ground. And there was like a delay time, right? So now I wonder, I don't know exactly how it works, but it's just going to be instant. So he can just throw it out right away. So it's kind of like on the go with this like whole team. So it'll just be used quicker. I'm not sure how it's going to be used still, because a lot of pros, they don't even like it, because then it just messes with their recoil and kind of just screws with them. So I mean, I think it might be used a little bit more just because it's very responsive. No ability is like that. Every single ability, it'll leave you like vulnerable. So having this, it's really cool. His Molotov got reduced from 300 to 200, which is cool. I haven't played Brim at all, dude. He just does not make me interested in the slightest, to say the least.
Yeah.
So, but for people who do play him, congrats. Glad you guys are just going along with the struggle. So cast range is increased 4,200 to 5,000. So he pulls up a little map. He can place down 3 smokes. This is just increase so he can smoke farther away, which I think it's cool that they're trying to make it so Brim smokes are different from Omen's and pretty much just show like differently between agents, because it's cool if you have like 4 people who can smoke, they all smoke the same way. It's just going to be used for the same purposes, and it's just not really anything, right? Nothing special to it. So having this cast range increase is cool. And then I would say this is the biggest buff of him, is that the smoke duration is increased from 14.25 seconds to 19.5. So that's pretty much just like a 20-second smoke, the longest smoke in the game. 20 seconds. So if you smoke the same area, you can smoke something for a solid minute, which is going to be a lot. So the downside to Brim's smokes is that he can't do one ways, but they added it so it's like you can smoke off an area for quite some time and just hold that off pretty easily. So it's cool that they're doing that. And then a sound cue that they changed is that he can no longer make a sound that enemies can hear when confirming the location of his smokes. So I guess like when he places down his smokes and he just goes for it, it makes an audio cue and they know where he's at. So I don't think I played Brim a single match. So I'm kind of just going with what I got.
Well, you're not a 46-year-old white male, right, with a beer gut on you.
Yeah.
Because I feel like that is probably our average Brimstone player. It's like the dad, the guy that wants to just help everyone and like wants everything to go smooth. I'm kidding, obviously. I'm sure there's some really cool Brimstone players. So what's your like thoughts overall here?
I think it's cool. I like the smokes a lot. I think the smokes are cool, how they're trying to make it different. The 20-second smoke is going to be huge. His Molotov is pretty big. I think Brim, just like his stim beacon, really shuts him out, I think. Like, it's just not used at all.
Yeah.
But being like, I like how they're making it so he can just throw it down right away. And I think they're just going to see where it goes. I'm not sure like where it's going to take Brimstone. He might just still suck like Viper does. Right? Like we've seen buffs like to Viper just like mad. And then just nothing. Like she's not played at all still, so I think we're just going to have to see.
Well, what gives me a little hope, I'll just throw in my 2 cents here, is Brimstone was very meta at the beginning. Like in Act 1, he was very often played. So for some reason, I don't know if people just hadn't discovered Omen yet. Whatever the case is, he had his glory days once. And I think that, this is good to try and bring him back into, because he's not trash, right? His smokes are insane and they just got more insane. And I like, exactly like you said, they're trying to make it more of like a choice. Like not all the smokes are the same. You're choosing, do you want a Brimstone smoke or an Omen smoke? The stim beacon, dude, is probably maybe the biggest thing for me. Like you said, no one used it. They actually said themselves on the patch notes, it says, we didn't feel stim beacon was fitting smoothly into his execution pattern or into the situations where you might want to use it. Too often, Brimstone would pull out stim beacon only to see his allies disappearing around the corner, right? So he was just always behind the 8 ball. Like he was just behind everyone else. Like I literally remember people like telling me like, wait, hold on. Let's use a stim beacon here. And it's like when you're like just going off the cuff, like in those like, on the fly situations, you're not going to stop, especially if you're already pushing, you're not going to sit there, for 1.5 seconds until Brim can just yoink this fat stim beacon out and toss it on the ground. It's just like you said, it's not worth it. It's not even giving you effects that come close to, being worth it. So I think that this actually, though, makes Brimstone a lot more explosive. So what I like about Brimstone is like all three smokes can come down at one time. Like he can just really like explode onto the site, and this is just helping with that. So boom, all three smokes drop down. You're pushing with your team, and now with Stim Beacon being a quick cast, I mean you're running with them. You throw it on the ground, and now everyone's buffed. And I think that's obviously a lot better for him. So I like to see it. The Molotov, I don't think anyone really cares about the 100 credits, but he does have a really good molly. That thing kills you pretty quickly. So coming in at a cost of 200 is pretty cheap. As far as the 5, no, go ahead.
Well, yeah, like I like how you're saying explosive. It's kind of like cool to think about how he has such a big variety right now, where he is able to throw that Stim Beacon down right away when you guys are pushing. And then he's able to smoke off sites like a controller. And then he's also able to do a great bomb defense. Right? That molly post-plant, he's insane. Viper's insane too, but I mean, his molly just lasts so long and just trashes on kids. So
yeah,
it's great to see it.
And the 5-second increase to the smoke duration, I mean, smoking off an area for 19.25 seconds is fairly disgusting. That's obviously, desirable. I think that the cast range increase was big because Omen was literally laying down smokes across the entire map.
Yeah.
And so, they're obviously trying to bring that gap a little closer. Brimstone making an audio cue when he drops the smokes is just disgusting, and I'm really glad they took that, dude.
Why would they have that in there, dude?
It's like, why the heck would you have that in there? Like, so say I'm just hiding behind a box, right? There's an opponent on the other side of the box. I drop my smokes, and he says his little dumb audio cue, and that person just bangs me out while I'm trying to put my little radar away. Right?
Exactly. Yeah.
That is just like, yeah, that's terrible. So I've also never played a game with this man, but I think he just got a lot better. So I'd like to see it. So on the flip, another controller, obviously getting adjustments here. They really wanted to change the way a controller was played. Omen took some hits.
Yeah.
And I want your thoughts on this because you're an Omen main. This affects you directly. What are you thinking here?
Well, before I get on this, I would like to take a break and just like set aside a time to slam Eric. We haven't slammed Eric in this episode yet, and I noticed that in the chat he was talking to a fellow listener saying he's Diamond 1 and he wants to play with this Diamond 2. For everyone out there, don't play with Eric. He's trash. If anyone adds him, dude, you're making the wrong decision. Get him out of here.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Well, and is Diamond 1 really a true representation?
Exactly.
I mean, I heard through the grapevine that maybe he got placed into Plat 1. Is that misinformation?
Oh, did we hear that? Did you just? I think he just placed into Platinum 1. Yeah.
Is that a true statement?
Jackal is Eric, by the way.
Oh my goodness, dude. Guys, like I was saying before, right? He is a rat in this great kingdom, right? He's a rat, and sometimes there's times that he creeps into the golden castle. Right? And there's a crumb. There's a little piece of muffin that falls off of my knee. Right? I take a bite and a crumb, a tiny crumb drops. And Eric, the little sewage rat he is, comes out of whatever sewage little port that he came out of that he managed to just squeeze through. Right? He's a rat with no skin. because he just scraped the skin off trying to get through the little passageway that he has found, right? It's the hole is the size of his head, and he just rams his head through there and then scratches his way out. Anyways, this crumb manages to make its way to the ground, right? Before my little handmaiden can pick it off of my pants, it falls onto the ground. And this is when Eric, grabs this crumb and starts running for his life, right? And we've tried to kill him before. We can't. He's stuck with us. he manages to scurry around our castle and just taking crumbs here and there. This little skinless, bleeding, just nasty sewage rat. 21-year-old, white male, Madras, Oregon. Eric Sullivan. That is who he is. So just keep that in mind when he's over there flaunting his accolades. He's a rat.
Yeah.
He's a peasant rat. Period. So sorry about that.
No, that was great. I mean, I think everyone wanted to know that. It was kind of like the elephant in the room, right? I mean, someone's got to say it, dude.
Well, exactly. I'm glad I actually feel a lot better, dude. It was like a load just lifted off my shoulders.
Yeah. Yep.
Get that out.
I actually have a picture of Eric right now.
Oh, yeah. Oh no.
But
oh no.
Yeah. Well, wait, let me just square this up right here. But yeah, so Omen, we should move on.
This is kind of big for you. This is a big change for you.
Well, yeah, this is big. So I main Omen. Yeah, I do. So huge things happening right here. Massive things. So his paranoia, Riot has mentioned, like, they think it's overpowered too. They think it's kind of insane. Instead of debuffing it, because it's only one blind, right? So it's like, it's super powerful, but he only has one use of it, unlike a lot of other agents. So instead, they increase the cost from 200 to 400, which it doesn't seem significant, but that does prevent different, like buying different guns, like a ghost with all of your abilities first round. So it's just going to change a little bit of like that aspect. And then we have the fattest doink on Omen ever. Absolutely just gross. I mean, so for his smoke, the speed that it travels, it's reduced from 4,000 to 2,800. So pretty much it's just going to be crawling across the map, not going fast at all. And then the sucky thing is that, so where Omen smoke travels, you can see like what direction it's going. So if you're on A and, or if I'm attacking on split, I'm on B, right? I want to fake smoke A, heaven, or like fake smoke A. I throw a smoke, and then everyone on A is just going to be looking at it, just seeing it creep, just across the map diagonally, and they're going to look at their map, and it's going to be from garage to be like, yo, they're B. So for little things like that, and I think it's just going to be annoying, right? Like, I'm not upset at it's not like a big smack in the face for me. I'm going to still play Omen. He's not absolutely hammered like Sage has been. Sage has made a recovery, but I'm glad that it's not as significant. So, yeah. I did get smacked a little bit, smacked around, but it's all right.
Yeah, that the paranoia, I think this was probably needed to happen. I think you can agree with me on that.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's honestly like, not. Yeah, you have to use it with your teammates though, and you have to use it in the right situations.
But I think
it was needed
to do again with like I really like high skill play, dude. It's like there's so many plays that you can do with paranoia, right? Like just because it kind of is the best it's the best vision Like, it's the best way to take away vision from the opponents, hands down, in the game. Like, it can go through walls. It's extremely far range. It has a fat radius. It's hard to get away from, etc. So, like, you can cast this thing. One that I seen that surprised me was we were attacking on Haven and we were pushing Garage. Well, the Omen just went into Cubby. Like, the enemy Omen was playing in mid on B site. Well, once he knew that we were pushing Garage, he just crept into Cubby in mid, and he just paranoid us from there into Garage. Which, like, there's just no agent that's doing that.
Yeah.
That fat of a flash from that distance and he literally blinded all four of us that were in there, and we all got mowed down from the guy in window. So it's like, yeah, that's a good flash to have, a good vision depressant. So I'm glad to see that. The dark cover, that's unfortunate, dude. I tend to agree with you. You're gonna see this fat blob just crawling across the map, dude. And it's like you said, it's more of like a homing beacon.
Yeah.
Like doing that fake smoke from across the map is going to be less effective, I feel like, because, you know, like we were saying, you're going to see this fat smoke just crawling towards you, and you know it's obviously not coming in front of you if it's coming from a diagonal. It won't render it useless. I'm not saying that. It did make it less effective. There's just no debate.
Yeah, for sure. It's like a 30% decrease in the speed. It's not going to be, he's not going to be unplayable. Like smoking short distances is going to be fine, right?
Yeah,
I think it's just going to be like a little bit of the annoying things. But
anything else you wanna cover on Omen? You're still going to be playing him, it sounds like.
Yeah, I'm going to still play him. I think I'm just going to go hard Omen. I kind of want to try out the new agent, but I probably won't until everybody calms down, because he's going to be insta-locked like right away, guaranteed.
Yeah.
Viper, they know Viper sucks, right? They've mentioned it in the patch notes. We're looking at it right here. She's underperforming as a whole.
Yeah.
And we're looking at changes for her. So I think that's going to be exciting.
This is good.
Next month.
This is a good thing.
Next month, I think we're going to get an update from her.
I've considered taking up the Viper, dude. You've
played her a little bit.
Much. I've been thinking about it so much.
Is it because you know that she's going to get an update?
No, it's not that as much as I see the potential that she has even in her current state. Like, I don't know. I played her actually in a ranked game, and I did extremely well on split. Like, pre-round, you can block off ramps and heaven with your wall. And then before you even go onto site, you can throw your smoke and cover screens. So her by herself can like totally block off every angle when you're pushing certain sites. And that leaves your Omen, if you do have another controller on your team, it leaves them wide open to use their smokes elsewhere. I just feel like the games that I have played her, they almost need to make her a little more, a little less dependent on her allies. Like, you need to play around her abilities. And if it's not done correctly, or your team is not communicating, her abilities can really do more harm than good. Like, you raise the wall at the wrong time, or you pop the smoke up at the wrong time. Like, that kind of stuff can totally do more damage than good. And it comes down to just a lack of communication.
Yeah.
And so it's really hard to solo queue with her, but you do see her in super competitive play because she does have set plays that she can do that are extremely good. It's just you don't see it when you're just solo queuing. Also, like you said earlier, Viper has insane post plant.
It's stupid.
Control.
I've seen many videos recently of her doing setups. She does her cloud, and then it decays into 0, and then she just does Viper Pit.
Yeah.
It smacks.
So what you mean snake bite?
Snake bite, yeah.
So if you look at so if you're in the poison cloud and you're also in a snake bite, the kill time is 4 seconds. Like if there's a snake bite on the ground and then you walk into the smoke, you're 4 seconds in. But like you said, if you're sitting in the smoke prior to that, it goes even less. So her post plant, she can hold the bomb for 18 seconds. Like,
wow, that's a lot.
Which is pretty disgusting.
Mm-hmm.
And like you said, one of the best holds in the game. So I've been considering her. I solo queue a lot, but I have wanted to kind of get better with her. We'll see. I might give her a try in the coming episode. But moving on, dude, we had some adjustments made to the weapons. One weapon, actually, sorry about that. It is the classic. So the classic got a fat nerf. And I want your first takes on this here.
I'm just gonna run through the stats right here. So jumping error increased to 0.4 to 1. So that's over 50%. Pretty much just, I mean, dude, people jump over boxes and then just triple tap so often. It's insane how often I've seen it.
That's like how you use the classic.
And that's how you use a classic. But it's just like, I mean, you can't do that with a Vandal or any other gun. So it's just like really stands out. And it's a free gun. So it's not like supposed to be just absolutely insane. I think it was so overpowered. I think everyone would agree. I mean,
it was good.
It was extremely good. Like, you had to use it right. I mean, you couldn't obviously take like long range fights. You're done for. But I mean, I think the nerf was definitely necessary. So increased input Q on right click is 0.065 to 2 is 0.225. So
that is huge.
That's massive.
That's like 4x, dude.
Yeah, massive. And then firing consecutively now jumps in error starting at 1.9 for the first burst, 2.5 for the second, then third, etc. fourth will be 6.0. So this is also gross. You can't just multiply just jump over and over and just triple tap over and over. So it's going to be preventing that. Right click now has a recovery curve starting at 0.1 second. So pretty much, I mean, it just took out all of like the jumping and like peeking around corners and being able to like shoot multiple times. It was a big nerf, like really big. I saw a video of a triple tap. It was at like a 10-meter range, I think. And they're just keep on right clicking, like looking at the recoil spread. It was a significant amount of difference, just way spread out compared to before. So
that's really good.
Yeah, I mean, I think, dude, it like they even mentioned it in here how like every other pistol was almost not worth it at all. I mean, and they cost more credits, right? It's just like a win-win getting like just staying with the classic. So now like this nerf, it makes the Ghost more, you know, it makes it a better choice, makes the Sheriff an option and the Frenzy. I'm excited. I think I like the Frenzy a lot. I've been playing with the Frenzy quite a bit, man. I haven't just because the classic's been so good. So now I might actually like be using the Frenzy a lot more.
Yeah, man.
What do you think about it?
Yeah. Well, yeah, I won't spend too much time here. I mean, the stats pretty much speak for themselves. I agree with you. It was too strong. Like, I remember just literally getting 3 kills in 3 clicks, right? Like, yeah. It's just like, and a lot of it was chance. Like, granted, it was chance that would happen, but it was happening too often.
Yeah.
For myself, I thought so. And it's not fun, buying the Bucky and you jump and shoot and don't get a kill, and then they just jump and one tap you at the classic.
Incredible.
It kind of makes it makes the game less dynamic. And I think this is good, man. Yeah. It got pretty hammered. So that is the weapon that was changed. We are now moving into,
The
in my
most
opinion,
fattest.
the biggest change here. And this is, of course, competitive updates, right? The people have been clamoring for competitive updates, and they've delivered here. Really exciting. So I don't really know. We don't have a good structure in our notes for how we want to break this down. What do you think you want to talk about first here? We're obviously all reset. We have to do our placements. And you said there's some info there that we should know.
The top rank anyone can get is Plat 3. Anyone. So if you're immortal, you're going to have to reset at Plat 3. I think there's just so much to cover here. There's a lot.
There's a lot to cover here.
Pretty much all uptick arrows, all of that is just wiped. They've pretty much just scrapped their entire rank system and just reset it all. So what we're looking at is that now, so I'll just start off from the top, but Immortal is all mixed down into one. There's no Immortal 1, 2, or 3. It's all into one. Radiant is going to be the top 500 players of each region. So if you're not hitting those top 500 players, then you're screwed and you're not going to be Radiant. So that's a big change for Radiant players. Immortal players, it's going to be a lot harder to get into Immortal. Immortal is the top 1% of players. If you're not in that top 1%, then you won't be seeing Immortal. And then the rank, just like climbing ranks, deranking is completely changed. So we were seeing 1 up arrow, 2 up arrows, 3 up arrows, and that's all we could know, right? I mean, some people had 50 upticks. They were seeing a rank up from Iron 1. And that's like... Yeah. So they've pretty much made it... I don't really have the exact numbers on this, but they made it as like a point system. It's called rank rating, just RR. Pretty much, it's always... So if you're going to win, if you win, you will always go up in your rank rating, no matter what. But that'll depend on your personal performance. You can either go up 10 points or 50 points if you win. And then if you lose, you're always gonna downtick, no matter what. And the minimum of that is going to be a max drop in Diamond Plus is going to be 50 points. On a loss on other ranks is going to be 0 to 30, which I like seeing the 0 there. So that means if you are match MVP and you're 38-1, you won't be seeing any points down, which I think that's how it works. That's what I'm looking at. That's probably just going to be for like the top players of that game. I mean, we are seeing I think a lot of us got match MVP, right? Our whole team was just on the bottom of the leaderboard, but we still deranked. And that's not fun at all. And so them adding this point system, it's going to be 80 points for each rank. You need 80 rank points. And pretty much
you need 100.
Oh, you need 100. Right. I didn't see it on here.
I think it's 100 points.
Well, who knows?
We don't play the game.
We don't play the game at all. Continue. But pretty much, dude, it's kind of okay. So it's gonna be a bar. I haven't seen it, man, but it's just gonna be a bar with all the points right here.
Well, I've seen the bar, dude.
You've seen the bar?
Well, of course I've seen
what does a bar look like, huh?
Well, it's just a bar. and Eric was 50 points. Eric got placed into Platinum 1. And so it says Plat 1, and there's a bar underneath that. And he had 50 points out of 100.
Yeah.
100 being his rank up. And so, this bar is a clear color, but, up to halfway was filled with blue, right? Because he had 50 points. So as you keep going, that bar is just going to fill up, and then you can gauge when you're going to rank up.
Yeah. So I think it's probably 100 rank ratings. So when you demote, you're gonna stay at, you won't go below 80 points. So if it takes 100 to rank up, and so when you derank, you're gonna be set. You could be set at 80 points. So you only need 20 points to rank up again. So pretty much, we won't be seeing like a D rank and then you win like 3 matches and you still won't rank up. Right? You're going to be still like, so like Eric, since he sucks, he'll probably be like, I don't know, silver 1 and he demotes to bronze 3. He could just play 1 match and get back up to the top. He won't start at the very bottom of bronze 3. So that's pretty cool to see. I know I've gotten pretty frustrated with that. And then also, you won't. Oh, dude, these notes are so confusing, man. It's just like a completely different system, so I don't even know how it works. But
so I think in its theory, it's pretty simple. So there's no more dumb arrows.
Everyone hated the arrows.
That's like the main takeaway here is there's no more dumb arrows, right?
Yeah.
Like before, we didn't know how far along we were. Like there was games where you got, three games in a row that you got triple upticks, 3 arrows up, and it's like you didn't rank up. But yet last night when you got 3 upticks in a row, you ranked up. So why aren't you this time? No one knew why. So this pretty much like there's no questioning from the consumer as to like how much farther they need to go to get to the next rank. Because it was like no one ever knew. Like I would be looking at my career and I'm like, okay, my last 5 games, I went up 3 ticks, down 1 tick, up 2 ticks, down 2 ticks, up 3 ticks. So I'm like doing the math in my head, like, okay, I'm technically like 4 ticks up in this rank. Like, when am I going to rank up? Who knows? It could be next game, or it could be 17 more upticks from now. So this, at least we like can visually see how far along we are, where we stand in like our current rank. Like if we're low on our bar, it says that you need to get to 0 rank rating, 0 RR, and then lose again to be dropped. So if your bar is on 0, if you lose that next match, and you don't break even, then you're going to go down, because it looks like on a draw, you will gain a max of, 20 rank rating based on your performance. And I think on some losses, yeah, like you were saying, you can break, you don't go down in rank. So I don't know what the situation will be on that, but just at least this way we know where we stand in our current rank, whereas before we just had no idea. And there's a lot of little nuances, obviously, in here as well, but like that's like the main theory. It says the majority of the rank rating comes from winning or losing. So I don't know how much of it is going to be performance based, but I mean, you can really have a big spread. Like on a win, like you said previously, you can gain between 10 and 50. So I mean, if you win and only get 10 points, you must have done really poorly. Like there's a big gap there, right?
Yep.
And then so yeah, there it goes. On a loss, you will lose between 0 and 30.
Yeah.
So I'm unsure if you're sitting at 0. Like so when Eric loses 2 games in a row, he loses 31 game, 20 in the next. So now he's sitting at 0. If he loses his next game and he loses 0 rank rating, I don't know if he moves down or not. That'll be determined.
Yeah.
And we'll know that fairly shortly, as he's probably losing as we speak.
Well, yeah. It's just a given.
So that is, I think, some of the main stuff. I'm just looking at the notes here as well. You probably are too, to see if there's any other like weird. So when you get a promotion boost, like when you go into the next rank, you start at a minimum of 10 rank. So,
and you can go up quite a bit. And I think that's kind of what they're doing, is that'll be more like consistent. I really like being able to see where you're at, you know? And if you do insanely
of
good for
course.
2 matches, you're ranking up, right? So
Of course.
another thing to mention is that I mean, they say this, I don't know how it's going to be played, but they're saying that smurfing won't be as big of an issue because they're going to be able to rise ranks a lot quicker. So a smurf is doing 38 and 5, you know, 2 games. He's already like, I think who knows if they can rank up twice, but he's banging out ranks. Yeah. And he's just climbing quick. So it's like, we might see less smurfers or like just not as consistent. Cause I mean, it's been like a day of just straight smurfs. And it's just constant,
so
and you can't get away from it. It's impossible.
No.
So I hope that solves it. You know, I don't think there is like an amazing fix for it. There's not like a great solution, but hopefully this does make it so they slam out the ranks fast and only smack a few kids, you know?
Yep. Also, it says here new rank ceremony and celebration visuals for getting promotions. So when you get out of Iron 1, once you go into Iron 2, you're going to get just smacked with a bunch of dopamine, right? They're going to make it a ceremony for you. They're going to roll out the red carpet and you're going to walk down doing like a little queen's wave. You're just going to be looking at all the villagers, right? Your fellow sheep herders, because you're among the rats, right? You're not even a regular villager.
Well,
you're a rat.
I mean, Eric won't be able to see that. He's on the bottom.
Well, he's literally in our sewage system, and we're trying to get him out currently. So, you know, I mean, if anyone has any pesticides that really kill rat, I mean, he's like a cockroach, though, dude. Like, he can survive in pretty dire scenarios. So,
yeah,
I don't think we're getting rid of Eric anytime soon. But yeah, no, he won't. He can just sit in his sewage system and celebrate with himself.
Yeah.
You know, when he gets back out of bronze into silver, you know, if me and you hear some clanging in the sewage, we'll know that the drain is in fact not plugged. It is just Eric celebrating to himself, lonely and cold. So,
one thing that it's kind of cool how they're doing it. So it's like, I don't know exactly, but if you win, you can only get like a certain amount of points, right? So like, if someone does do trash, they're only getting 10 and they're queued with their buddy who's just carrying them, they're getting 50. So it's like they're ranking up every 2 games, you're ranking up every 10 games. So you might be able to see your own rank better. You won't be able to force to play with your friends, you know? Like they aren't going to carry you as much because boosting's a big issue.
Well, that's the thing, right? Like for the raccoons out there, like myself, we're going to have to
find a way to feed somewhere else.
We're going to have to start getting innovative, right? Because like I said last episode, I am a raccoon and I dig my claws into Rogan's back and Rogan just goes on a 72-mile journey. And then I hop off at the end and I take his water, right? That is who I am. And that's the only, like, I'm dead serious. Like, I am not, like, platinum was not a good representation of where I'm at. And I like this, right? Because you're going to be slapping down 50s. I'm going to be slapping down 10s and 20s. And it won't take long. It'll take one gaming session before you're out of reach for me to play with. I don't think this has any. Is it still just 3 ranks? Is that the limit that you can play with other people?
Yeah, so the limit. For immortal and plus, you can only solo and duo queue. So pretty much you're not going to be 5 stacking. You're going to be forced to solo queue or duo queue and be placed with 3 or 4 other random boys out there, which I think it's going to be cool to see how it works. I think like playing against a 5 stack, you just can't you can't. It's so hard to play against that. It's
tough to go. Yeah.
They have tough crack, and it's also cool how it's like you're gonna be getting your own rank. You know, like you aren't gonna be boosting your friends in Immortal. You can't. So I think that's really cool. Like, you know, you won't want to be boosting your one, you know, peasant friend who doesn't deserve it. So
Yeah.
we're just gonna have to see.
It did say that they updated the rank distribution to be more forgiving, whatever that means. That's kind of a hazy answer, but it said that it significantly reduced the number of iron players and increased the percentage of players in bronze, silver, gold, and plat. And then diamond and immortal, it says that the player distribution will largely stay the same in those. So, I mean, I'm just glad to see some players getting out of iron. I know that's just a death trap. There's a lot of people that are not iron players, but they just get on iron teams, and that's hard to get out of. So
Yeah.
we saw a little bit of that, before episode 2, but it looks like they're doubling down here. So that's nice, man. What other notes do you have on the ranking system? I mean, I think that is kind of the big one.
I think we covered kind of the main stuff. I think it's just gonna be a whole nother way to climb ranks. Like I hated the old ranking system. I think everyone did. I think they're leaning towards more of a League of Legends style. So anyone who does play League of Legends, they might find some similarities with that. I know that ranking system's pretty good, but yeah, it's going to be awesome.
This is kind of something that I missed. Players will no longer have their rank hidden changed to a question mark for inactivity. This will now only happen if you are in placements. So remember how, like, if you stop playing rank for a long time, you would get that question mark?
Yeah.
As to, like, what your rank was? I don't know if you mentioned that already, but
I didn't know.
I kind of like that they took that away. Like, what's the point, I mean, I don't know. I would like to know what people's ranks are when I join a ranked game. Like, when I just go in and there's 3 question marks on my team, it's like kind of unnerving. So, awesome, man. Do you have anything else, brother?
Nope. I think we're good, dude. We covered.
Go ahead and wrap this bad boy up, dude.
Yeah. I was gonna do another section for slamming Eric, but I think we've already done it enough.
Yeah, I think so.
Just joking.
Big thanks to the person that sent in a question.
Yeah, that was huge.
I really that made me happy that day, and it made me happy covering it today as well. So thank you, Anthony. We appreciate you, brother.
And I think if we continue getting questions, we'll probably switch to covering like that one question and ripping out like 2 episodes a week, and just having one episode dedicated to one question.
Yeah, we thought about ripping out an episode for this one question, but we kind of need more. Like, it'd be kind of cool to cover like 2 questions, you know, or 3 if they're not very complicated. So, as we continue to see villagers enter the castle walls and start to clamor for advice, we can get to that 2 episode a week mark. So, also we're on iTunes, like we're on Apple Podcast. I don't think that we've ever said that. But
well, they're sponsoring us now, so
if you rate us 5 stars and leave a comment, we'll shout you out on the pod. We need to recognize the faithful people. So just in case anyone didn't know, you can find us on Apple.
Sweet.
How did the live stream go, dude?
Went good. Just a lot of talking back and forth.
Were you live on Instagram as well?
Yeah. Yep.
Nice. All right, dude. Take us out of here. It's been really good. I really like this episode.
Yeah. Well, we hope you guys have enjoyed. This has been episode 11, where we talked about patch 2.0. It's been an honor and a pleasure. We both hope you guys have enjoyed. Please submit us questions if you guys have the time and if you guys somewhat enjoy this podcast. We appreciate it. We will see you next Tuesday, I believe, and possibly stream this upcoming Friday. Have a good one, guys.